Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Wrestling Prime. I am your host, Tom Dog, and apologies for doing this now than what I was supposed to do on Saturday, but I'll tell you that. I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. Just real quickly, this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles. If you have any wrestling memorabilia, any wrestling memorabilia that you want to get some cash for, wrestling autographs or whatever, anything at all that wrestling, M&J will take good care of you. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area and you want to check out this wonderful store, they also have a list of events that they have going on there too. Check it out over on their website for directions and a list of events over at mjvideogames.com. And Terrificon, don't forget, July 28th to the 30th at the Mohegan Sun Arena. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in this episode is because they got some AEW wrestlers coming into Terrificon. There has been some in the past. Darby Allin. I remember one year they had Darby. A couple years ago they did. They had Darby Allin and Ty Conti and her husband there, which I forget. But yeah, they were there one year. Last year, I think Darby Allin showed up again last year. I forgot. But this year is a good one. They have Danhausen, Wardlow, and Ethan Page. So if you're fans of Danhausen and Wardlow and Ethan Page, definitely you want to go there for that because that is going to be awesome. So, and that's going to be at the Mohegan Sun Expo Center on July 28th to the 30th. For the full guest list and ticket information, you can check out their website over at terrificon.com. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, we got a pretty good show, and for the first time, we're actually going to be talking some AEW stuff, which I was supposed to do on Saturday, but again, my apologies for that because had some personal issues going on, and then past few nights I've been exhausted. I've just been drained out and everything. And so yeah, better late than never, right? I did want to at least get this episode out before Saturday because I'm going to give out some predictions to Money in the Bank pay-per-view because I have a lot to say about that. So yeah. So yes. And if any big news comes up, I'll do something, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. So yes. So the camera will be on high alert for sure. It'll be definitely on high alert. Definitely. So yeah, we're gonna have, but nonetheless, it's gonna be very interesting. So yeah, let's talk some AEW news because on the banner that you saw, yeah, it's like I don't want anybody to be confused because I'm still a WWE guy. I have nothing really. I don't really have anything against AEW except for the fact that you have that one wrestler that puts his hands in the pockets and does this to people's shins. How is anybody going to sell that? It just makes a complete joke of the uh, the wrestling that I love. So, but on the premiere episode of Collision, I'm glad that Pockets had nowhere to be found on that card. So, the least I see of him, the better. But yeah, it was but nonetheless, overall, it was a pretty good opener. Um, just one quick question. I wonder how much money did Tony Khan pay for the royalties to the song "Saturday Night Is All Right for Fighting" by Elton John? Because that song is not cheap, especially from a legend like Elton John. So yeah, I'm just I'm just saying. I am just saying because, you know, I mean, hey, as long as Tony Khan has the money, I mean, why not? Oh man, I'm a little tired today, but not as much as I was last night. I mean, soon as I was settled in, I just passed right out. I've slept like a baby. So yeah, I'm a lot better, and I wasn't sick or anything, so that was good. And even with the thunder and lightning, I still would have done the show, but that's okay. But yeah, the premiere of Collision was a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, we saw the return of CM Punk finally. You know, after his injury and his drama that he had with Hangman Adam Page and the Bullet Club and everything like that. I did like that one spot where he referenced counterfeit bucks, and so everybody knows who that is. I originally forgot, but then when I think I knew, I kind of figured who he was talking about, which was Hangman Adam Page and his group. So yeah, um, so yeah, that was a good shot to the hip, shot in the hip, or whatever wrestling lingo is. I'm a little shady. I'm a little hazy on my wrestling lingo, so don't worry. I'll be using a lot of it tonight when I still do my predictions for Money in the Bank. Namely, you know who's going to be in one of them in one of the matches. But but yeah, so yeah, CM Punk had a tag team had a 6-man tag with FTR, and they were taking on Samoa Joe and I believe the Guns. I believe so. Yeah. So yeah, I forgot to write the notes down, which I should have. But yeah, it was a pretty good match, really good match, and yeah, CM Punk got got the pin and everything like that. It was really good. A lot of people saying, there was the commentators were a little bit um, worried about with Punk's return. That he would have ring rust. No, because he was doing some training after he was healing, I guess you could say. And but yeah, I really felt bad for Jim Ross, and I posted on Twitter about it, and I'm sure people took. There are some Jim. I'm a Jim Ross fan. I am, and it was a it was a friendly rib and everything like that. Relax. And so basically what I said in my on my Twitter was that, did Jr. Eat a horse because he did did Jr. eat a pony because he sounds a little hoarse. So yeah, so yeah, it was cheap and pretty not that fun. I thought it was funny, but yeah. But yeah, he sounded horrible. He didn't sound that good. I guess he was coming over to a cold or something like that. And and he actually told Tony that he wasn't really feeling it and everything, but Tony insisted that he would do it, and I mean it wasn't bad. I mean he did call that match really good to the best that he can. And Luchasaurus won the TNT championship. So yeah, that was a pretty. So yeah, it was pretty good match as well too. I forgot some other stuff too. Apparently, Aubrey Edwards, the female referee, she is no longer gonna. I guess she had a match with Karen Jarrett, and she this I'm talking about on Dynamite now. It was either on Dynamite or Rampage, and I think it was on Dynamite. And so yeah, it wasn't from what I understand. I didn't see that match, but from what I understand, it was a not that good of a match. But nonetheless, Edwards won, and she said that she's not gonna, she's gonna, take the W and retire from, no longer wrestle, and she's just gonna go back to being a referee and everything. So, and she's really good, but a lot of people were really criticizing her on the, on the on social media, and I'm like, listen, she's actually a damn good referee, and it's not often where you see that good of a referee, and not only that, there's not that many female referees that that I really know of that are very good, and yeah, she does her job well. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, she she's gotten to she has no problem getting into the face of the wrestlers who step out of line. She's not afraid, at least she's not afraid of that. I mean, I'm glad that she doesn't take any bumps, whenever that cliched bump that I really hate, where it just gets to a point where it gets irritating, where you see the referee just get where you see this now more often than you would back in the day, where you see a referee purposely get into the line of fire, and when one guy does Irish whips another guy, and it just becomes it just was like, oh great, here we go, position there. And I pointed out, and it's like they just need to get rid of that cliche, because it's annoying. It's really annoying. I mean, if you're going to do it right, then fine, but it's a stupid spot, sometimes. But nowadays in today's wrestling, it's a stupid spot, and I hate that. I literally hate that. It's annoying. I mean, like I said, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. If done right, then I don't have a problem with it. But nowadays, and none of these referees can pull it off. I mean, Mike Chioda could. Mike Chioda can pull it off, and hell, even Earl Hebner. But hell, even Tim White. Rest in peace, Tim White. Tim White. He pulled it off well. I mean, even to a point where he had to retire from refereeing because there was one spot where he legitimately got hurt, and we all know what happened after that, which we really don't want to talk about. But yeah, I like her. She's actually one of the reasons why I watch AEW. I mean, really, it's not. And it's like, and hey, and for and I remember back in my, when I was, back when I was, when my father and I were filming indie shows for my cable, for Wrestling Prime, the cable access program. I remember one of the wrestlers once told me that if a referee is more likable than the wrestler that they're officiating, then the match is horrible. So yeah. And most of no offense to to Audrey Edwards, because she officiates some really shitty matches, and I feel bad because she's doing her best to and she does a good job at officiating a match, but if you're in the ring, but if you're in the ring, but if you're refereeing a match between Orange Cassidy and some ham and egger, then the referee is, and you think that the referee is more enjoyable to watch than the wrestlers, then yeah, you're not doing your job well. It's like you're not telling the story, like the wrestlers aren't telling the story. Same, and believe me, watching an Orange Cassidy match is a lot better just watching the referee. Because I'd rather watch the referee officiate the match than I would watching Orange Cassidy wrestle. I mean, really. So yeah, I'm pretty much bearing Orange Cassidy, and you know what? Good. I can't stand him. I can't. I literally can't. But moving forward with CM Punk, I hope now, with all that fiasco that happened, why he's not around, that he wasn't around, with his injury and that drama that he had after the scrum. It's just to a point where CM Punk needs to watch himself, because This is the second time that he was out with an injury, and you know he had a really shitty year last year. He really did. He came back. Everybody was excited. You know, everybody was excited and everything. He came back. It was awesome. Or maybe it was a year or so ago. But he came back. It was awesome. It was an awesome match. On his return when he fought Darby Allin at, I think it was All In, and yeah, it was a good match. And then a couple matches later, he was out with an injury. Then he comes back, fights again with another wins the title with another injury. Then it's just like, really? I mean, it's pathetic. It was just, you know, he never really had an opportunity to defend the title. And, you know, I just hope now that CM Punk, you know, really, and especially with the things that he said at the scrum, it was, I mean, it was like, if you're working with fucking children, then why the fuck are you there? I mean, really. I mean, and I mean, it was just baffling that he would say that, and there was a career, you know, it was almost career suicide, you know, and a lot of people were, you know, a lot of people were pissed off, and you know what? Maybe he shouldn't have said that comment, but nonetheless, it was just a total, you know, his return was great, but the build for him was just, you know, he needs a redo. He really does. And, you know, he's not young anymore. I mean, he's around the same age. He's in his 40s like I am. And it's just like, you know, maybe he's a little bit older than I am, but still, it's the fact that he just needs to. And listen, I like CM Punk. I have nothing, you know, I have no animosity between, you know, with him on anything. It's just the fact that his attitude when he came into AEW was just, you know, when he did that scrum, it was just like, you know, there's a time and a place for anything, and that was not the time and place to do a shoot. I'm just saying, because that's what he did. He did a shoot. It wasn't like a promo where he was doing a work. It was a shoot. And it's like, you know, was some of that stuff that he said was right? Maybe. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't work for AEW, so I can't speak for him or anything, or speak to the other wrestlers, you know, speak for the other wrestlers that are on there. But, you know, there are some wrestlers who legitimately act like children. And, you know, whether you like them or hate them, I mean, trust me, that's up to you. But, you know, when I talk about Orange Cassidy a lot in this video, so far, and we're only 25 minutes in, he's a perfect example. It's that you have it's like, here was an indie wrestler who came in there just, how are you going to sell that move? Just tapping people on the shin. How is that a physical, you know, move? It just legitimately looks, you know, it just insults the wrestling business. It really does. And I learned a lot from wrestling business, through indie shows and everything, because I botched this several times, and I got in trouble for pretty much insulting it. And yeah, it was, and which is why I'm not in the ring. You know, will that ever stop me? No, because I would love to be in the. That's why I'm either good as a referee or as a manager that can take a bump. Just saying. A little underleg noise for you. But yeah, that's why I can't stand Orange Cassidy. I really don't. But moving forward, I hope everybody involved, um, after the heels of that scrum, then you move forward, because that's all you can do. Move forward. You can have a little bit of animosity. You can have a little bit of um. You can be upset with that, but you can't dwell on it forever. You just got to move on. Maybe down the road when you retire and you're being called to do a you shoot video or a kayfabe commentary video, then yeah, you say whatever you want. But that wasn't the time or place to be vocal and everything, regardless. But it's moving forward. If you're gonna rebuild CM Punk as a main event guy, then Tony Khan, do so. But don't let this don't let this bite you in the ass, because you, Tony Khan, almost wasted money on CM Punk. You spent all this money to sign him for your company, only for him to botch it up with what he said at the scrum, and now it's now you have to be careful, because if he does that, if he does something like that again, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep him, or are you going to fire him? Same thing with Jeff Hardy. And again, Jeff Hardy, I've always liked the Hardy brother, the Hardys. I've always liked them. Matt and Jeff, I love, I respect equally. But Jeff's demons, he's had so many chances with so many companies, and he was given another opportunity with AEW. Now it's time to say, listen, you F up again, you're done. End of story. Because he had a couple of chances when he was with TNA. He had one too many chances. He had one too many chances with WWE. And now he came back through it, after being suspended in AEW. Tony Khan even has to monitor him now, because if Jeff Hardy messes up one more time, I think his wrestling career should be over. That's it. Just go with the Hall of Fame. That's it. Be done with it. And Jeff, another thing, stop with these moves. Stop with these death-defying, these daredevil type moves. You need to stop that, because it's doing a lot. It's 85% of the moves that you do in that ring is all because of these suicide type stunts that you do. This is why you've been hooked on painkiller. This is why painkillers had been the number one target for you because of this, with the swantons and everything like that. It's doing a number on your back. I know it is. It is. It's been publicly addressed one too many times, whether you were in TNA, WWE, or AEW. Your health is more important. Yeah, I mean, and believe me, you're in that age bracket as I am because I'm going to be 45 in a couple of months, or actually a month away in August. You cannot do these stunts anymore. You can't do these moves anymore. Certain, if you have to bring it down to a minimum. Same thing with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, he can't, I mean, yeah, he does those things, but he hasn't really. If you notice, he has been slowing down, and his son is pretty much going to be taking over once Mysterio officially retires. So yeah, so Jeff, please, man. I mean, I like you. I don't want to see you like paralyzed with the shit that you do. And it's like, just be like, listen, I can't. You could do certain things, but jumping off a 30-foot ladder, you can't do that anymore. You can't. If you're going to jump off the top rope, then that's fine. But just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Because those moves that you were doing is the reason why that you were on painkillers one too many times. And you've had one too many chances with a lot of companies. But going back to CM Punk, come back with this whole new attitude. I like, it's fine and everything. And, be that voice of the voiceless once again. But now you just got to do it. That's all. Because it's going to be a difficult road. And I don't want to see CM Punk on, sitting at home doing nothing. And I want him to have, his run so far in the WWE when he was signed with AEW. It was, let's face it, his debut was great, but at the but then the injuries started coming in. His first injury came in, then the second injury came in, and it was just like, really. I want to see some good matches, and so far he's had he has had some good feuds with Darby Allin, MJF, and Dean Ambrose. I know he's not called Dean Ambrose, but you know what I mean. So, John Moxley. There we go. Waiting for somebody to correct me on that. So, but yeah, nonetheless, it's good. It's good to see him back. I'm glad that he can still go, and him being in the ring with Samoa Joe was awesome because it just brought back so many memories of him and Samoa Joe, when they were in Ring of Honor together and everything, and they work well together, so that's good. So I would like to see more of that because in that 6-man tag we had a little brief of it, so I hope that somewhere down the line we get to see more of that because their matches together were outstanding. Trust me, look it up in Ring of Honor. Trust me, you will love them. Okay. Now let's go back to WWE World. I think I said enough on AEW for now. But yeah, I have a lot to say with Money in the Bank. So let's get all the boring stuff out of the way first. Well, one of them actually, because there are some good matches coming scheduled. But I just want to talk. So the women's Money in the Bank, we have Trish Stratus, Bailey. What the hell? Jesus Christ. I really hate this. Trying to. I apologize, folks. I really hate pop-ups that take up too much room. Okay, so the six woman Money in the Bank match is Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. Prediction. I think Zelina Vega is going to win this one. Why not? That'd be good. I would like to see her go against Mommy Rhea Ripley. So yeah. Speaking of which, Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. This looks like a pretty interesting match and everything. Dominic Mysterio is getting more of a push lately, and I don't really see a problem with that because I mean it is nice that he's not in his father's shadow pretty much, but the fact that he's turned heel on him is kind of messed up and everything. I mean, if you're going to turn heel, but I'm just glad that they didn't do the whole Eddie's going to tell you a story type of, recontinue that storyline. But there was one particular incident where it became this close. So yeah. Anyways, Cody's going to run that match. I think. So the Bloodline is taking on the Usos. This is a really good storyline. This has been a really good storyline, and so yeah, it's a Bloodline Civil War that they're calling it. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa taking on the Usos, and yeah, I this is going to be a really good match, and yeah, it's just basically, I would like to see at the end of this. I would like to see, the Bloodline reunited, and because excuse me, that has been a really good faction, really has, and I just mainly because I just want to see The Rock back. That's all I want to see. Matt Riddle going after the has a opportunity to get the Intercontinental Championship against Gunther, the IC champion. And yeah, that's going to be a pretty good match. But Matt's not going to win it. Matt's not. I'm liking Gunther more and more, especially those chops that he did at I think it was at No Way Out. And yeah, those were cringe. Those were cringe. I remember saying that. But yeah, it was but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that match. And but most importantly, Finn Balor taking on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Now that is a good match. And I'm liking the hype package on this one. This is really good, especially when especially when Seth Rollins cut a little promo on him a few weeks ago. Let's say saying, calling him a bitch and everything like that. That was awesome. That was crazy. I mean, he's right, because I mean, I kind of, because I've always liked the demon Finn Balor. I've always liked that Finn Balor. It's just the fact that, what the hell? Okay, and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Let's talk about this one. Blah blah blah. So the 7 people, the 7 men that are in this match is Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Butch, in the bar. I mean, for the bar club or whatever. LA Knight, Santos Escobar, and Damian Priest. Oh yeah, and Logan Paul. Let me tell you something. Why does Logan Paul need to be in this match? Why? There is basically no relevance for him to be there, other than the fact that he has literally no business being in this match. Literally none. And basically, on a personal level, I can't stand him. Everybody knows why, and I'm going to continue bringing it up because, I'm going to keep reminding people of just what type of person Logan Paul is. He's a piece of garbage. Actually, no, he's not a piece of garbage, because I respect garbage more than I would respect Logan Paul. He's a piece of shit. Logan Paul is a piece of shit. And I never liked any pieces of shit. I respect garbage more than I will pieces of shit. And Logan Paul is a piece of shit. Logan Paul literally has no business being in this match, as I said. And for many reasons. Number one, who is he having a rivalry with? None. He has no business. He's just in there to publicize himself. I know it's not a word, but I'm making it up. He's only in it for the publicity. He's only is, and he's riding on the WWE's coattails to do so. He does not need to be there. Go back to going in the boxing ring, and yeah, his couple of WrestleMania appearances were fine and everything like that. And yeah, it does mean that he's going to be in in the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. But still, the least I care about that part, the better. He didn't even need to be in the main event to go after the championship against Roman Reigns. That was a total waste of time, and I'm glad the better man won. I'm glad for that. And then his Paul's loss at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. Hey, that was my favorite match because I loved it. So Logan Paul is not going to win this, is nowhere near going to be catching in that briefcase. And if he does, I have to give him the failing grade because, I'm biased when it comes to that. I will never be objective to what Logan Paul does in the ring. Whatever he does in the ring, I don't like. So that's how much hatred I have with Logan Paul. That's how much I can't stand him with a passion. And it's just like it's a total waste of time for WWE to book this asshole. Really. WWE, should have put the veto on this. And I know probably some people are out there are going to go, well, what if Bad Bunny was in there? That's fine because I respect Bad Bunny. I like Bad Bunny because you know what? Bad Bunny, and the fact that I like Bad Bunny is the fact that he doesn't need to throw himself into a semi-main event match. He doesn't need to go having a title. Yeah, he won a 24/7 championship, but you know what? That's peanuts compared to winning a world title. Logan Paul doesn't need to win a world title, nor does Bad Bunny, because everybody knows what happened, how much of a PR nightmare when World Championship Wrestling was a thing and David Arquette won. Enough said. I mean, really, enough said about that. And the fact that, and that was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's one of the reasons why WCW fell under at that time. It was a poor marketing decision. LA Knight, he had a really good promo when he interrupted Logan Paul. And I can see him feuding down the road, like at SummerSlam, with Logan Paul. And LA Knight would win that match. But yeah, I would love to see that match happen at least. And but yeah, I'm actually pulling for LA Knight. He's been getting quite the push lately, and I like that. Same thing with Damian Priest. Maybe Judgment Day is going to implode and everything. I don't see Ricochet winning that one, nor do I see Butch definitely is not winning that match. Santos Escobar might have an opportunity, might have a chance, but he's not going to. He's going to come this close of winning it. So it's either going to come down to Damian Priest or LA Knight, and that's why I think are more deserving to win it. And if I was a betting man, I would actually go with LA Knight because I suck at gambling. So yeah, that is pretty much the card for the show there. And so we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens this Saturday afternoon. So we shall see. And with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in. Look, well, ran a little bit over, but that's okay. Because I had a lot to say. I told you I had a lot to say. Anywho, be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. And if you miss any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. And when you do watch this video, thumbs up the video if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Comment down below, who do you think is going to win the Money in the Bank match? That's the topic of the discussion. And who do you think is going to win? You know, what are your Money in the Bank predictions? And ring the bell to stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And if you want to become a champion yourself, be sure to support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing, and you yourself will be a champion forever, and I will love you for it. I definitely will. And that is lay the smackdown on that subscribe button. We will see you all again on Thursday on the Channel X episode. And other than that, we're gonna bring this episode to a close. Thank you all so much again for allowing me to be in your homes and everything like that. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. And so yeah, if anything comes up interesting that comes up after Money in the Bank, after the Money in the Bank premium live event, I will gladly turn the camera back on and address what happened. So I will keep a close watch and everything, and I will definitely take some notes and review the best I can. Until next time, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. Good night, everybody.